Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Aditi Ghosh once again on InnerWorldRevealed, and you're right now at the best place that deals with everything to do with Pythagorean Numerology. And the primary topic that we're going to discuss today is how we can fix bad karma, or how we can eliminate bad karma from our lives. And after that, I'm also going to talk about a second topic, that is what the upcoming month of August 2020 is going to bring for all of us, and what should we expect from it. So those of you who would like to skip the primary topic of discussion and straight away go to the second segment of the log can find the time frames in the description box below. So for all the important leads, you have to check the description box. Time is absolutely valuable, so without wasting any more time, let me get into the first topic, that is how we can fix bad karma. Now, to explain this, I need to clear certain misconceptions regarding this word karma. Many people relate it to the reward and punishment theory, and they say God is watching. If we do good deeds, God will reward us. If we do bad deeds, God will surely punish us, because God is going to be really angry if we do something to annoy them. But the philosophy of karma says there is nothing God will be annoyed about or angry about. God only knows how to love. So there's nothing we should be scared about or feel guilty about. There is no one other than we ourselves who is capable of punishing us. Now, coming to the meaning of the word karma, it is a Sanskrit word that is based on Vedic Sanatana philosophy, and you can also find it in Buddhism, which is actually an offshoot of this. And the literal meaning of this word is simply deeds or action. And the philosophy of karma says we should be careful about how we act, because every action of ours will surely have some kind of reaction from somewhere and will have certain consequences that we will have to deal with. We are free to do anything we want, and nothing is wrong or right. Only that we have to prepare ourselves with what reaction may come along. Now, this philosophy of karma is also one of the basic foundations of Pythagorean Numerology. I do not know, and I cannot tell how exactly the father of modern numerology, the great Pythagoras, was exposed to this basic philosophy from Vedic Sanatana Dharma. But it is a known fact that he spent 22 years of his life learning with the temple priests in Egypt. And perhaps the Indus Valley people here had some trade connections with the Egyptian people there, which also resulted in exchange of ideas and concepts. So this karma philosophy became one of the foundational philosophies of modern numerology. It is also one of the foundational philosophies when we talk about the law of attraction. It is not new, it is not a fad, but one of the oldest ideologies. And let me simplify it to you in 6 basic rules. When you know these rules, you'll exactly know how to fix the cycle of bad karma. So here we go with the 6 basic simplified rules of karma philosophy that will help you to break the loop of bad karma. The first rule is, we are the creators of our own life. Nothing in our life can exist unless we have allowed it to happen or exist around us. We are the main participants and the main characters of our story, and unless we actively participate, our story cannot have any twists or turns. If we are in a problematic situation and are in need of help, we have to help ourselves first. God will help us only when we help ourselves first. Our bad karma would stop from getting created further only when we decide to stop it from getting created right now. But for this, we need to first know what is good karma and what is bad karma. How do we know that? Well, the definition of good and bad is always relative. It varies from person to person. But then what will it be for us? How do we know what is it going to be for us? Well, good karma for us will be the actions that will place us in alignment with our purpose and our destiny. And you can find it from the knowledge of the 3 main core numbers of your blueprint. They are the life path, the destiny, and the soul numbers. If your actions are in alignment with these three major core numbers, you are absolutely on the right track and you are creating good karma. Ladies and gentlemen, my efforts are continuously towards finding and sharing with you content-rich videos that can help you improve your life in many ways. If you like my videos, let me remind you to not forget to support my channel by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel and also hitting the bell icon. You can also like my Facebook page, the link to which is provided in the description box below. All of you who would like to learn numerology starting from the basics and are new to it can purchase my first book for numerology beginners. Again, the link to that is provided in the description box below. So don't forget to check the description box for all the important leads. I'm also in the process of compiling my next book and I hope to release it soon too. Many of you are asking me when will it be out? Well, I'm trying to do it as quick as possible. Okay, now coming back to the primary topic, we now know that the first rule is that we have to actively participate in creating our lives and we have to be in alignment with our three major core numbers, which are going to assure that we are on the right track. And this statement brings me to the next question, which is, what if a person is following their numbers? Say if the number 1 is featuring strongly and the person is also acting like a 1 person, they're showing the determination, the perseverance and the leadership of 1. But the ultimate goal is to say, for example, to rob a bank or maybe to lead a terrorist group. And of course, the person is still being a 1 because he's being fearless and he's showing all the determination to do what he's supposed to do or he's wanting to do. So he's still a 1, but he's at the negative end of the same number. What then? Well, here comes the importance of the second rule, which says positives and negatives or opposites will always exist together. And it depends on us what we allow to play. Do we allow to play the positives or do we sink into the negatives? Are we going to bank upon our strengths or are we going to allow the weaknesses to play? You see, your weaknesses, your limitations are never going to go away because your absolute strengths, the qualities that make you strong, are your actual weaknesses. Now let me give you another example. Say you're a very emotional person and that makes you very empathetic, very cooperative and very understanding towards others. These are your strengths because people seek you because you're a good listener, you're always supportive and you're always cooperative. But the same qualities are also your weaknesses, for which there can be situations where you might overreact or emotionally retaliate instead of remaining level-headed. So it is important to understand you will never be able to eliminate one without eliminating the other as well. Every number has a positive end as well as a negative end, and there are no numbers that score over other numbers by having all positives. So what can you do about it? Well, you have to grow the awareness within yourself about your weaknesses as well as your strengths. If you are a determined person, if you are a very strong person, well and good, you also have to be aware whether your strength and determination are not becoming rigidity and stubbornness. This brings me to the third rule. As you sow, so shall you reap. You're always creating your life, actively as well as passively. Whether you think you're doing good enough or not, both ways you're correct. Every time you're acting, you're initiating a reaction as well that is equivalent to your action. By acting repeatedly every day in some way or the other, you're activating a chain of possibilities unfolding themselves one by one from time to time. Therefore, what you're receiving right now could be an outcome of some choice that you made some long time back. your reactions to the similar situations is bound to be similar in many, many ways, barring the fact that with age, a certain level of maturity or change will be achieved. But the basic you, the core character that you have, will not be changed ever, because your numbers are going to be same. Your core character will never defy your core numbers, unless of course you're changing your numbers or subduing or adding some numbers. So you may think that you're freely choosing or you're freely reacting, and of course actually you're free to choose or react in any which way you wish, but your choices and your reactions are going to be predictable by the end of the day, because they're going to fall within the framework of some numbers. The spectrum can be wide, but nevertheless, they are predictable if someone is keen and observant. So by repeatedly reacting in similar ways and by making similar choices, what we do is we end up creating a loop-like situation and keep on going round and round, coming back to the same point again and again, and sometimes also repeating the same mistakes. What has to be understood is to break this loop of continuity, or to change the output. Some change somewhere in the input has to be created. This brings me to the fourth rule, and that is there are no coincidences. There is a reason behind everything, and all that is happening right now is connected. You may think right now, why is all this happening to me? Why me after all? And I'd say, come on, it's time you realize it's only your karma. At some point in life, you have activated this outcome, you have deeply wanted it and desired it. This may lead many of you to ask me, why then babies are born with problems? Babies have not yet created any karma of theirs. What then is their fault? Well, this brings me to the philosophy of rebirth, which once again is one of the foundations of numerology, and it says, we are all souls on an endlessly long journey. We are continuously learning and evolving as higher and higher vibrations, and there is no end to this cycle. Just like the smaller cycles of sleeping and waking up every day, we have a bigger cycle where we sleep for a longer duration of time and again begin afresh from the point where we left off. If we ended the previous cycle in a state of trauma, we will carry over the after effects of the same trauma into our fresh cycle. If we have lost our integrity or virtue at some point in our past life, the information is not going to be lost. We will be born afresh with the same level of evolution and will be dealing with the situations that this kind of a thinking will create. And this is the logic behind the karmic debt numbers. These numbers outline certain issues with our character or certain information that we have carried along. We did not close the balance sheets, so certain things that we have brought along in here have to be dealt with. None of it is outside of us, all is within. So there's no point blaming someone else because they perhaps have only opened doors for us. It is us who have walked in. It is us who have created where we are today. Having said all that, and having said that time is continuously moving forward and past, present and future is continuously getting created, we also have to accept the fifth rule right now, which says something somewhere will always change. The way things are right now, the very next moment, it won't be the same, and something about it will surely change. So grab the moment right now and be happy for it because it is one of its kind. Create whatever you want right now and go ahead step by step. If you don't like where you are placed right now, do one little thing at least to change it. Maybe write a word or think a thought to begin with. And finally, that brings me to the final rule, and that is nothing will happen before it is time. Even if you have done your best right now, you have to wait for the right time for things to turn up in the right way. We need to have patience, and we need to realize that everything in the universe is perfectly timed, and timing is everything. The Earth completes one revolution of the Sun in about 365 days. Saturn takes 27 years, whereas Jupiter takes 12 years. Summer comes at a specific time of the year, then comes monsoon, then autumn, and finally winter. We cannot break these cycles and make things happen before time as per our wish. We have sown seeds right now, we have given our best, and then we have to wait for them to grow, and finally we can have the harvest. There is no way by which we can speed the entire process up. So once you have done your best, once you have done all that you could and all that you think was correct, you have to wait for the time to do the rest. Time is the most precious resource in the universe, and using it wisely also means knowing when to show patience and when to be assertive. So those were the 6 rules, or the 6 steps through which you can fix bad karma and break the loop of unfavorable events in your life and make time work in your favor. Now, without taking any more time, I'd like to move on to the second section of the log, where I'm going to talk about the upcoming month, August 2020. So the month of July, as we can see, is going to close, and we will be moving on to a new month, which is August, and August is the 8th month of the year, and the universal year 4 is now acting in combination with the month number, and we are getting 3 as an outcome. So order, system, and a well-planned approach has to be maintained, and when we will follow that kind of an approach, we will have many reasons to celebrate and feel good about. So after a bit of a slow and silent month of July 2020, after a very emotional and kind of a little depressing month of July 2020, we are heading towards a month where we can expect some expansion, where we can expect some growth, celebration, rewards, and some happiness. Now, don't misunderstand me when I say this, because I don't mean that the overall feel of the year 2020 is going to go away all of a sudden. It's going to stay. But within that framework, the month of August is going to be one of the more active and positive months. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no need you should be worrying, because some positive news is going to come up soon. I understand completely that it is very difficult to stay positive during this time, because the ongoing time is so challenging. We're all having to deal with so many limitations and uncertainties. But then we mustn't lose hope. There still are so many things that we can do, because obviously every cloud always has a silver lining, and we should be on a lookout for that. So let's make the most out of whatever we have right now, because this moment is one of its kind. Because things are never going to be perfect and flawless. So let's embrace this imperfection that we have and try to still count our blessings that this time has brought. That'll be all for today. Hope you have a very good time. Bye-bye.